to another edition of Hartford Community Leaders. Got a wonderful program for you today. We ask you to sit back, relax, and join with us. 1 hour of good programming. Make sure you tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a relative that we're on. Today we have a great program for you today. We want to take this opportunity to thank all of our viewers for tuning in each and every week, and thank you for all the emails. Thank you for all the calls. I'm telling you, we make our community great. And one of the things is that we've been touching on is leadership for the last few weeks. We're in part 2 of our leadership series. Before we get to our guests, we want to talk a little bit about leadership on today and how you can be inspired, how you can become better. There's some of the things that you want to accomplish in your life, and that you want to be better in your job. You want to be better in your everyday life, in your community. The best way to do that is to work with different community groups, work with leadership teams, work with individuals in your employment to make things better. If you are sitting there worrying about change, you're worrying about what's going to happen, what you need to do to make change happen, you need to be part of that change. You need to start first by getting together with groups that has the same message as you. Get it documented on paper. If you're in employment, you can go to your HR department and work with the HR department, but make sure you document everything on paper. Because that's the first thing they're going to say, well, what is your grievance? What are you trying to do? What are some of the goals that you're trying to reach? If you're sitting here just worrying about what comes next and you don't know what to do, that's the first thing to do is make sure you document everything. Anything that you're trying to do, whether it's positive or whether it's something that has happened, took place, you need to document it and make sure that you work with a team to get whatever you need to get done. And this is part of leadership too. If you want to see change in your organization, you want to see change in your employment, you want to see change in your community, you need to sit down with other like-minded individuals to say, hey, we're going to reach this particular goal. What are some of the things that we want to reach, and document it on paper. That's just like if you go out for a job. You can't just say, oh, I want the job. You have to have a resume, right? So you want to make sure you document everything that you do. If you're looking for employment, what you have to do is make sure that you go out and get all your reference papers that you need, your portfolio basically, and have it documented. All your certificates that you need, document everything. Now, the best way to do it is you go out to the Google Drive, go out to Google, yes, Google, and we have a million phones in the United States, and so everybody's got a phone. So you go out to Google basically and go out to Google Drive, and they have all of the documents necessary for you to document, whether it's your organization, they have or employment, or just regular everyday documents. You just go out to your Google Drive and go and search for the different types of documents, whether it's financial documents, they're out there. Also, one good thing about Google is that they have where you can set up a portfolio. Okay, so say for instance, if you want to send out resources to colleges or high school or employment, and you want to send it in a link, the what about you? It basically is almost like a web page. Basically, information about you, your certificates that you've received, your training that you've received. Everything is right in the Google Drive, and a lot of people don't know about that. If you're searching for a job, you can actually go into Google and search for that particular job in that particular area, and you can go out and start applying. But make sure you have the proper paperwork. It's necessary to make that happen. Today we talk about leadership. To be an effective leader is a person that creates an inspired vision of the future, motivates and inspires people to engage with that vision, manages delivery of the vision, coaches and builds a team. Remember, I said you need a team in order for teamwork to happen so that it's more effective in achieving the vision. Like I said, if you're sitting back worrying about change, you need to be a part of that change and make change happen. When we started Hartford Community Leaders, we started working in the community. We seen rational violence in our community. People were not empowered. People have lost hope in our community. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to come together with like-minded folks in our community to make change happen. We did that. We did job and housing workshops, financial literacy workshops. We've done, for the opioid crisis. We've done classes on that. And then we work with individuals in our community to make change happen, and we're continue on the battlefield for change. And that's why I say it takes a village to come together to make change happen if you want to see change happen. And it's not going to always be easy, but if you have the right people with the right skills, all right, everybody have different skills, and that's all part of leadership. Leadership recognizes who in their camp can do different duties and responsibilities. And so, if everybody have a responsibility, I always say this thing, I say, you stay in your lane, I'll stay in my lane, and we can all get things to work great. We have different gifts, different talents in the leadership teams. And so this one might be good at writing. This one might be good at communicating. This one might be good at working with the hands or setting up. We as leaders, we can't do everything. Okay, we need each other to make things happen. And here's the thing: you have to be available to do more than just that one role. Because, say for instance, if something happens where the leadership team is short, we need you to step into that role. You can't say, well, I'm just a cameraman, or I'm just a person that just sits down at the table and looks cute and pretty. I need to roll up my sleeves too to, move a few tables. I need to go in and, set up a couple chairs. I need to, at the end of the day, when everybody's tired, ready to go home for a different event, you need to be prepared for the setup and the cleanup. Don't leave it for the head person or the leadership of that organization or event. Don't leave it for him to do, okay? Because he can't do it by himself. We all have to come together and say, hey, we need to roll up our sleeves, help with whatever is necessary to get the job done. This is all part of leadership. And so it takes everyone being leaders to make things happen. And so we wanted to touch on that for our part 2 of our leadership series. And I'm telling you, it's getting good every single week. It's tight, but it's right. A lot of times people want to be in a limelight of things, but they don't understand the things that happen behind scenes to make the limelight happen. We want to be, head of everything. We want to see lights, cameras in action, but when it comes down to really getting things done and getting things rolling, we need to be a part of that leadership team to say, hey, it wasn't just the head of the event. It wasn't the head of the organization that did everything, but it's everyone. As a leadership team, it was the team effort. And so we need to realize that. And like I said, if you're worrying about what's going to happen next, you need to be part of that change. You need to sit down, document everything that's needed, and sit down, set your goals, objectives, what needs to be done, and work with your teams that you're trying to make change happen, or the other party basically that you want to see change in, and work at it and make sure it gets done. If you sit there and worry yourself, one, you're going to be out of a job. Two, you're not going to see change happen. It's going to happen to the next person, the next person, next person. You want to make sure that change happens, and you want to follow through. A lot of times people, they sit down and they do all the work and they don't follow up to see the outcome of things. Hey, if you're not seeing any kind of progress on the outcome, hey, I'm knocking at your door saying, hey, why isn't there progress? With the change. What do we need to do to make sure this happens? And so you need to follow up, make sure change happens, and don't worry yourself, because if you're having issues or problems, somebody else is having issues or problems too, and so the both of you can come together, and that's double. You can work at a solution to some of the problems that you're facing in a community, and so work at those different things. Leadership, that's what leadership is. Leadership makes things happen, gets things to happen, and make change in our communities. And we need more leaderships. One of the things I suggest is that you work with community groups, community organizations, people that are like-minded, doing something in your community, civic ambassador groups. I'm part of the Civic Ambassador Group. We work for change in our communities, and we just work with individuals and organizations. And so, hey, if you need more information, you can email me, hartfordhcl@gmail.com. is Don at hartfordhcl@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to sit down with you. We need to work more or less with our young people today, because we see so much happening with our young people. Just in the news just the other day, we had UConn students, was on the front page, and they're from the football team. And so what we need to do is we need to work with our college students. We need to work with our high school students, our middle-aged students, our elementary students to say, hey, you can become better. You can become better if we work together. And that's one of the things that we're going to be doing. Coming up real soon, we'll be at the East Hartford High School, so get ready. We're going to be there talking to the students' career day, and we'll be at East Hartford High School coming up real soon. And we want our volunteers, we need volunteers to come on out to talk with students, to engage with students, to let them know that we're there to help them. All right, coming up real soon. Make sure you email me at hartfordhcl@gmail.com. I'd like to have you come as a volunteer. Like I said, leaders can't do it by themselves, but we need a team effort to come in, talk with students, let them know what we're doing in the community, and let them know that, hey, there's a better way. All right. So with that said, I could talk for a whole hour on leadership, and we want to stay tuned next week for our leadership part 3. All right. And on today, this is Black History Month, and I want to go over our Black History leader for today, which is Lemuel Hayes. And from July 18th, 1753 to September 28th, 1833, was an American clergyman, a veteran of the American Revolution. Hayes was the first black man in the United States to be ordained as a minister. Hayes was a native of West Hartford, Connecticut, and was the son of an African-American man and a white man. Also, he spent much of his childhood as an indentured servant in the house of Granville, Massachusetts farmer, and a regular churchgoer. He began to preach as a boy. He served in the military during the American Revolution, including garrison duty at the recently captured Fort tried in 1776. Hayes also became an anti-slavery activist. In addition to arguing against involuntary servanthood and preaching against the slave trade, Hayes also advanced against colonization movement. All right. He was ordained in the Congregation Church in 1785. Haynes pastored a church in Torrington, Connecticut. All right. In Torrington, Connecticut for 3 years. In 1788, Haynes left the temporary position at the Torrington Congregation Church to accept a call to pastor to West Parish Church in Rutland, Vermont, now West Rutland's United Church of Christ, where he remained for the next 33 years. He then moved to South Granville, New York, where he was pastor of South Granville Congregational Church. Haynes died in South Granville in 1833 and was buried in Lee Ottoman Cemetery in South Granville. And I'm telling you, a lot of history right here in Connecticut in the greater Hartford area. So we wanted to have that segment for our Black History Month. All right. Well, we're going to get started today. Today, I'm telling you, we have a wonderful program for you today. Some pertinent information for you, talking about cycling. And we have Mr. Tony Drakes is the founder of Octagon Cycling Club in Bloomfield, Connecticut, which has been established since 1996, and a co-owner of Tony D's Auto Repair Shop, along with his wife Suzanne. The two, and then also we have Yolanda Squirewell and Tiana Holder with us today. Welcome to Hartford Community Leaders. All right, Tony. Tell us a little bit about your organization and how you got started.
Well, we got started, well, we coming up now on our 25th year anniversary. We get started by, like riding around Windsor, Hartford, Bloomfield. So one Sunday I met with this guy. He stopped me and he said, you know what? I think we should have a bike club. So I said, okay, how are we going to do this? So we said, well, we're going to try to put some stuff in like the Yankee flyer. We did all of that. But in a couple of years later, we still trying. Wow. So then we meet up with like 2 more guys. And this guy said, you know what? It's 4 of us now. So we can get this thing moving.
All right.
So these 2 guys, Harvey McGee, and Aloy Toppin. We started out, and everybody started gathering guys and putting the word out there.
Yeah.
We had a bike club.
Okay, all right.
And from then we start riding, we do so much stuff in the community.
Yes.
But still, people are saying, well, you all have this club for 25 years, but we don't know anything about it. Because we're based in Bloomfield.
Right.
So we're trying to get it out there now so we can attract more people and move on from there. Because this is something that we want to leave for our kids and the younger kids to carry on this thing after we're gone. So this is what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to achieve to get like more young people in the club, whether it's male, females, come on in the club. And like you said, you got to get the community involved,
right? Yeah.
To get all of this stuff together so we can keep moving. We do a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And in the bike club, we now having our first bike tour.
All right.
First bike tour, the Tour Bloomfield.
All right. We have Tiana Holder here, and you are a cyclist.
Yes, as of 2017.
And how did you start with the Octagon Cycling Club?
Actually, word of mouth. I lived in Bloomfield my entire life. I was going to a gym next to Tony's shop, and he used to go to the gym also. He came in talking about cycling. Never once thought about cycling. Haven't rode a bike since I was probably 16 or 15.
Right.
And I just found a great way for cardiovascular exercise. Instead of running, it's low impact on the knees. It's a good exercise to lose weight. So I ended up losing a lot of weight doing it and fell in love with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
great.
For a couple years now.
All right. Wonderful. Yolanda, Now you're sitting over here quiet.
Right next to you.
And how did you get started into cycling?
Almost same as Tiana. Just word of mouth. Met a friend who knew about Octagon, and
Yeah.
just started gradually riding once a day, or and then met the club and started riding out with the club. And they were just great. They were just there for you if you needed help. They would never leave you alone,
Yeah, they won't
and they
show
just
you.
made you feel comfortable riding with the club. And it's
Okay.
like Tiana, I tried running, but
Yeah.
running wasn't for me. So the next step was cycling, and enjoy that very much.
Right, right. And tell us a little bit about how you a person can get started, with Octagon Cycling Club. Say for instance, individual that's out there now, they may want to get involved with what you guys are doing, and they want. We don't have equipment. How do we get started? Do we get furnished with equipment? Can we, get the proper, safety gear? How does that work?
Okay. So we have annual meetings once a month, year round. The cycling season generally runs from April to about September, October. But we have guys in our club and females in our club that ride year round. They'll ride in the winter. So April 11th is our annual meeting to kick off this season.
Okay.
So we meet at 6:30, most likely at the Bloomfield Human Service Center, 330 Park Ave in Bloomfield. But updated information will be on our website when it gets closer to the date. But we just recommend somebody come out to the meeting, meet one of the members, and then even just come joining us for a ride. We ride Sunday mornings out of Capaco, starting in April, and we do Friday night rides, usually out of East Granby or Simsbury, on Fridays. So there's a lot of opportunities to meet up with us.
And what are some of the goals and objectives that you want to reach in this particular race that you guys are setting up, coming up real soon?
I think it's mainly to get more riders, more young riders, females, a lot of females, give them an idea about riding, and also minorities in the community.
Okay.
So-
And when you look at riding bikes, when you see and you look on television, you see mostly men,
Yeah.
on their bikes and riding cross country. I mean, how is it for females to be able to, come in and ride their bikes or get set with their gear? How is it for
It's empowering.
you over
You
here?
Yeah,
to know
yeah,
that
it's
you can
empowering,
ride
yeah.
and you can hang with these
guys, yeah.
men.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's all about training, and it's all about where your heart is at. If you like the sport, if you love the sport, you will do it. But we are all about health and wealth.
Okay.
If you comes out and you ride, we had a couple of guys that probably weighed maybe close to 300 pounds to come out and ride with us.
Wow.
And they fought, and at the end of the season, they dropped 60, 70 pounds.
Wow. Wow.
That's what we all about. We ain't all about going out there riding hard and trying to do that. But if you come out and want to ride with us and you're a serious rider, you can come out. You got to come out. You can do 100 miles with us. You
Okay.
can do 40 miles. You
You
can
do
do
15.
15.
Yeah,
you can
do
do
five.
10. You can do 5 until you get to that level.
Okay.
And also, if you're interested in touring, you can come and go to some of the biggest bike tours in the United States, and you travel all over with us.
All right.
If you want to, if you're serious,
Right.
if you want to get a serious bike, all you have to do is contact us. We have all the resources.
Okay.
We have all of that stuff. Like I said, we have
Great.
our own Octagon bikes. Just get in touch with us.
All right.
You can hook you up with a builder. Comes out, he measure you and get you a custom-made bikes.
Wow.
And get all of that. If you need the gear, we have our own colors.
Yes. 100%.
We have our own colors. We let us know your sizes. We can order anything for you.
I love those jackets that you guys have. Yeah.
This is the
Well,
original.
Yeah.
The original colors.
Wow.
This is last year's
Oh, nice.
jersey, and then we'll have a 25-year anniversaries next year. We're gonna have a 25-year anniversary.
Okay.
Jersey, so that's coming out too for next season. Yeah.
All right. And so you want to reach out to the community. Now, when is the event going to be held?
So the tour of Bloomfield is going to be May 30th, Saturday, May 30th at 8 a.m.
Okay.
It's in collaboration with the town of Bloomfield, Bike Walk Connecticut, and Octagon Cycling. So it'll be
Okay.
the first organized bike ride in Bloomfield for our club and for the town of Bloomfield.
Oh, really?
So it's a big thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, so that'll be May 30th, Saturday, May 30th. Registration information, everything will be coming up in the near future on our website, our Facebook, or you can contact us for information.
And how does that make you all feel, seeing that it's your first event happening in Bloomfield? How does it make yourselves feel?
Probably more so for them. I've been in the club 3 years, but 25 years.
25
Yeah, I
years
think
and
so.
see, and you see what you achieve.
Yeah.
You know,
Finally,
it's
yeah.
like, it is, words cannot explain.
Yeah.
You see, you achieve that kind of stuff.
Right.
Okay, and in this community, the oldest black bike club,
Uh-huh.
you know, but, you know, we accept anybody in the club. If you want to, you know, anybody can join
Yeah,
the
we're very
club.
diverse.
Right.
Diverse club, you know, like I said,
All ages.
and the club probably made up, you know, the leaders are, you know, we are entrepreneurs, and, you know, just come out, you know, and get in touch with us, or email us, or, you know, or go on Facebook or WhatsApp and get in touch with us.
All right.
And we can, anything you want, we can take care of that.
All right. And you know, and as a founder, you know all about leadership teams
Yes.
and working. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your leadership team and how you got started with your leadership team?
Well, where I got started in biking,
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Barbados.
Oh, okay.
So I never liked like soccer or cricket.
Uh-huh.
My love was always bicycles.
Okay.
So I used to ride at the Village Rome there,
Mm-hmm.
the stadium and stuff. Then I came here. I came here in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was still a kid. So I think
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably around 17, 18. So I came here,
Uh-huh.
and I was on, where I was, Farmington Avenue. And I saw this older guy riding his bike. And I said, I would love to have one of those bikes.
Mm-hmm.
So I stopped the guy, and he told me where to go. So then I bought the bike, and from there, I rode in different clubs, and I hang around, like you said, different founders from different clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how it gets started. And with me, I'm the type of a person that I like to teach people how to do things. If I'm good at that,
Right.
I'm going to teach you how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of the guys that's in the club,
Mm-hmm.
you know, let's say I taught them how to do all of that stuff, you know, the correct way to set their bikes up, the correct way to sit on your bike, the correct way if you're going to do 100 miles to conserve your energy, to do all of that stuff. Because there's a lot of stuff in biking that, you know, people come to the bike club and they say, well, oh, I ride every day. Yes, they ride every day, but they don't ride that distance. Or they don't have, you know, to sit on the bike the correct way. Or the bike is not set up properly. You know, you can't go out and ride 100 miles and wear sneakers. There's special biking shoes.
Right.
You see, you can't go up there and do riding, ride a bike all over without a helmet. We don't accept that. You got to have a helmet.
Safe.
Right.
For
Right.
safety, you have to have a helmet.
Yeah.
So, you know, leadership for me is very, it comes to me naturally.
Yeah.
When it comes to leadership, because it's something that, like I well said, from a teenager, I like to do that. I like to be the guy up front.
All right. All right. That's great. And Tiana, you are one of the top cyclists, women's top cyclists, correct?
Yeah, the last few years. Yeah, I've
Uh-huh.
gotten into it pretty, a
And
couple times a week.
uh-huh. And I mean, what is when you have to train to become the best, right?
Yeah. You got to
Uh-huh.
train with these guys. So you're at the back of the pack sometimes. And it's a humbling experience. But then you get better, and then pretty soon you're keeping up. So, yeah. It's definitely you build on your build on your skills and you just improve. Yeah.
And you train like every day. What is a normal day for you?
During the summer, we usually do our main ride is a Sunday ride, so that can be anywhere from usually about 40 miles to we've done centuries, 100 miles on a Sunday, but we usually do about 30 to 40 miles if we go out on a road. So I've gone out 3 times a week, 4 times a week.
Wow.
So we have organized rides twice a week, but we use WhatsApp. So anybody that's in the club, a member of the club, we might just send out a text. I'm riding Tuesday night. I'm riding Wednesday morning. And then if somebody's around, you just meet up. So that's the nice part about it. I'm honestly not comfortable riding on the road by myself. I've never
Right.
really ridden on a road by myself. So I think the best thing for females and people new to cycling is to join a club. And also, I'm not the most mechanically inclined. So I've probably had about 7, 8, 9 flat tires. I haven't changed one tire. So that's the one benefit of
Yes.
riding with a club with experienced riders. They know what to do when you have little issues or mechanical issues or even just changing tires and just different skills. You're always improving. So you'll ride next to somebody, you have a question while you're riding, they'll answer for you. if you're having a hard day and you're falling to the back, they'll wait with you. We don't drop anybody. So that's what we tell people. So if you come out, we'll make sure you get back home, you know,
All right.
no matter how long it takes. So
Good,
it just
good.
takes hard work. You know?
And
Dedication.
Yolanda, you're so quiet over there.
I am.
And I think you're going to be a next
I
runner-up.
am like Tia. I haven't gotten 100 miles under my belt yet, but that's what my goal is this year is
Okay.
to have that under my belt
Okay.
and just riding with the team. I know I can do it. It's just like Tiana said. I remember one of the first rides I did with them. I had such a high. For me, was a hill, but for them it was not a hill. They were like, "That's a hill," and I'm like, "Yeah." I had such a hard time getting over the hill, and eventually one day I was over that hill. I didn't
Yeah,
even
you didn't
realize that. I'm
realize
like,
it,
where's that hard hill I couldn't get over the last time? Like, you went past that long time ago. And I'm like, wow, I did it. And so it's very humbling,
Yeah.
especially as a female as well.
Right.
And like you said, these guys, same thing. I don't know how to change a tire out of all these years.
have
That's why
workshops.
that's
We've
why
learned, but-
that's why we have the guys, you know. But I want to learn. I want to know.
Yeah.
So when Tiana and I go out for a ride, if it's just me and her, we don't have to call the guys, you know.
Yeah, so we do. Yeah.
So it's fun, and we do a lot of different things outside of riding. We have bowling parties, we have
Okay.
cookouts. We'll go out of state, as Tony said, do trips.
We'll meet up, go to the
weekend
gym
weekend
for
cycling trips, or training at the gym.
outside of cycling.
Yeah, outside of cycling. So we have a lot of fun with it.
And one of the things that, and I do interviews with women all the time, and one of the things, do you feel less empowered or do you feel empowered when it comes down to, working with men?
No,
in our
empowered.
community?
Empowered.
Okay.
Empowered.
Okay.
Especially in this group.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's just helpful.
Because that help for you to get to that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And does it make you feel like you want to do even better
Yes.
and
Oh,
greater?
Yes.
I think of it
Yes.
like the Yukon women example. Like you train with the guys, you're gonna excel. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you just want to keep up. So you're gonna push yourself a little harder. So we have guys that they can hold a fast pace, and some of these guys like should be
Mm-hmm. Right.
professionals or
Yeah.
so
Some of them
you
are
want to
really
push
hard.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they don't discourage you. 'Cause
No,
they'll
right,
wait
they
for you.
don't.
So
They don't.
It's
That's
it's a nice
exactly it.
mix, yeah.
They'll be right next to you telling you what to do and
And how to improve. So.
yes.
And Tony, when you talk about the gears and all the different functionality of cycling, what are some of the? Give us a few tips that you can let our audience know about. A few tips.
Well, to ride your bike and enjoy it, you have to have it set up by someone, maybe in the bike club, or take it to the bike shop, have one of the professional guys set it up.
Right.
Because you just can't buy your bike and say, well, let me push the seat up.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work.
You're right.
Okay, because you come out and ride, with Octagon or ride with some other guys, you'll be like, why these guys are riding like they're at home sitting on the couch? This is all
Yeah.
about the setup on the bike.
Right.
Okay, because I can't take my bike and give it to you and say, hey, come on, let's ride. It ain't gonna work. Because my bike's set up for me. My length of my arms, my legs, and my torso. All of that stuff. Okay, even for the size of my shoes, size of my feet. Everything is set up for me. So I can go up and I can ride all day. And come back home, do 100 miles, come back home, cut my grass, go to the food store, do what I have to do.
Wow.
You see, so when you get a bike and you want to be serious, you have to have all of those things. And also too, your nutrition has to be right.
Okay.
You can't afford to go out, say Saturday night, you want to ride Sunday morning and have 5 or 6 beers.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work.
Right.
You have to, your nutrition has to be right.
Uh-huh.
It definitely has to be right. And like I said, you have to come out and ride with the guys that's 100% better than you. Okay? So that you can achieve what they achieve. So you can enjoy what they're enjoying. You don't want to go out with the guys and be like we go out riding. She's with us all the time. No matter where we go. We have one guy. He have one leg. Name is Paul. He come out and if you're riding 150 miles, he ride with us. So, it's not about, it's not about your ego. It's about the kind of bike you ride, how the bike's set up. And your nutrition. You have to have all of that. So if you want to come out and ride with Octagon, please don't go to Walmart and buy a bike from Walmart, because it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
You have to, get the bike, what you call an entry-level bike, which is like for a starter. And we guarantee you, this, if you ride with us for one season, you come back the second season, you're going to upgrade.
I did it my first year.
She did it her first season, you're going to upgrade. Then you're going to keep going higher and higher and higher.
Okay.
We have guys that ride in our bike club. Their bikes is like $12,000.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, so that's how much we love the sport. My bicycles have more miles than my car. That's how much I love the sport. Okay, so that's how much I love the sport.
Right.
So if you want to come out and you want to join the bike club, make sure you do it right.
Okay.
Because if you don't do it right, you're going to come out and you can say, you know what, this is not for
You
me.
have to enjoy it.
You have to enjoy it.
Compression
Right.
shorts. That's
You
important
know,
too.
you have to have the correct shorts.
Yeah.
You got the
Pants.
padding.
Right.
You got to have everything. You can't come out there. See some guys that say to me, "Oh, I ride every day," but they ride from Bloomfield downtown Hartford. They think that's riding. It is not. Then they come out and ride with us. If you ride from Copaco Center all the way into Granby, before we get into like Suffield or whatever, he's like, "Where's the guy?" You look back, you look back, then we have to wait for him, and like the lady said, we got to make sure they get back home.
Yeah,
Right.
Always make sure everybody gets
Yeah.
Always make sure everybody gets back home.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun to come out and join with us and ride with us. That's the reason why she said that we're looking to, we're looking to get more people in our group. We're looking for more, younger kids.
Okay.
We're looking for kids. We're looking for females to come out and ride. Because, they come out and ride for one season, they say how much they love it. It is a very, very good way of losing weight
All right.
and staying healthy. Because, if you have, like, people who ask me, say to me, I have diabetes. What can I do? I was like, all you need to do is exercise. You get on the bike and exercise. I have guys in our bike club had diabetes. Used to do insulin, and now they don't have to do it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, as long as you get your heart rate up and start exercising,
Right.
all of that is,
Wow.
and biking is perfect. You can swim, you can do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But get on a bike, it's totally different.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
And tell us a little bit about the different types of terrain that they're going to experience in May when you have the event in Bloomfield.
Well, I think on the terrain for the 62 miles, I think the elevation, the terrain, the climate elevation, I don't even
It's
think
under 2,000, I think.
it's only 2,000 feet of elevation.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it.
We're trying to keep it
relatively
flat.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically street riding,
Oh,
basically.
Street,
yes,
yes,
mainly, yeah.
merely
Yeah.
on the street, and we're gonna have police officers at every intersection
Okay.
to make sure that everybody is safe.
You need to register in advance.
Right, need to register in advance to
Sign
do that.
waivers.
Waivers and stuff. So when you come, you sign up. I think that's a
Right.
part of the waiver. You sign up. Also,
Yeah.
we can have side wagons, which is if you can't make it back to base, we put your bike in the car and we'll bring you back. Then we're gonna have something called sweepers. There's someone to sweep the whole entire area back and forth with the vehicle
Make sure
to
everybody's
make sure that everybody at a certain time,
Just make sure to,
everybody is like finished.
Okay.
Finish riding and stuff. Then we come back, on the town green. There will be music, there'll be, food, there will be all entertainment and
Oh,
all kinds of
nice.
different stuff. And you can pick up, a jersey from Octagon, T-shirt, if you figure, well, I want to join Octagon, but I need to have a jersey. We have them right there.
Okay.
And
right.
all the information will be an information booth.
Uh-huh.
If he wants to join up there, you can join up there, and then go on from there. Pay your annual fee, and that's it.
And is there like will you have like a trophies or awards that's going to be presented for the winners or?
Yeah, we were thinking about.
Yeah.
We were thinking about having these things like medallions and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Letting them know, that that they're
They
just
said they did the
achieved.
ride.
They completed
finished the
it.
ride.
They're right. They
Yeah.
completed the ride and all kind of stuff.
Oh, a
So
certificate?
it's not a race.
No,
Yeah.
It's not a race,
wait,
it's
it's
more
not a
of a-
race. It's more like a tour.
Just
Oh, it's a
casual
tour.
Yeah, it's a tour.
That's
We'll
a
have some
tour.
historical stops along the
okay.
way. We'll
Yeah,
stop
like
at
a
some.
tour, but we, when the races and stuff, that kind of stuff. If anybody interested in that, we can set all of that up.
Okay.
But
for future
for
races.
Yeah,
future
for
racing,
Okay.
Yeah.
but
This is
what we
casual
do,
tour.
we go out and we do these bike tours all over.
Okay.
But you can ride at your own pace.
Oh.
They have some guys that can do that 62 miles. We can do that 62 miles probably less than what? We do it 62, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
There's a smaller ride.
Yeah, we have a
too.
30-mile also,
A
and
30
a
miles?
9 miles.
And a
So
9
there's a lot of options for
There's
people.
a lot of options.
Okay. And
For all
so this race, now you mentioned the parents can bring their children also? Or
Yeah,
is there a certain age?
Certain age. I think it's what is it? I think 13.
Okay. All right.
13
Yeah.
and up.
Accompanied by an adult
Yeah,
Cut
we'll have
right
more
from the dot.
information
on the website.
on the website, and
On
Bike
the
Walk
website.
Connecticut will have
Yeah.
information on their website. So there'll
Okay.
be more information coming up.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah. Is there anything that you missed that you would like to present to our audience?
Well, the ones I like to present to the audience is to like we said before, we're looking for some more female riders,
Uh-huh.
and it become as a family.
Yeah, families.
Yeah, it becomes the family. If you have a daughter that likes to ride, son that likes to ride, just
Getting the youth.
get the
Females
youth.
and
Yeah,
Okay.
because we're trying to get a youth program going.
Okay. All right.
If we can do that, maybe we can take them because all over now have bike trails. Because right now, Bloomfield has put in a bike trail. That bike trail gonna be hooked up to the one in Simsbury.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And within now and the next, I think they said the next 5 years, you'll be able to ride from Bloomfield all the way to Florida
What? Really?
on the bike trails.
Wow.
And the
Yes.
trails are a little nicer too for
The
some
trails,
people who
yes,
are
for some
intimidated
people-
about
By the-
riding on
yeah.
the road.
Bike cars.
Yeah.
We ride from Bloomfield all the way to UMass
Oh,
on
wow.
the bike
On
trails.
the trail.
Yeah.
Yes,
so you
that's
don't have to worry
100
about
and
the
how much?
cars and
107
traffic.
miles?
Something around there. Yeah.
107 miles.
Uh-huh.
A round trip. Yeah.
Yeah, you just
Wow.
ride through there. It's beautiful. They have bathrooms there. You go right in the back of the trail. You will see like a restaurant. You can go and get something to eat.
So if I brought my bicycle out and ride with you guys, and I can take a rope and hook it up to your bicycle and your bicycle,
We used to push people. Stand by the
it'll work.
Yeah.
You'll get me there, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
We'll
we-
get you there and back. There and back.
We're more sure we get you there.
Yeah.
But that's the stuff that we're trying to stress on.
Yeah.
We need more. We need more people of color out there.
Right. Yeah.
So they can come out and
It's
join
fun.
us.
Yeah,
There's a
you
lot
know
of
what I
fun.
would do is I would ride into the Octagon vehicle, and I'll be like, "Hi,
We got-
Deanna. Hi, Yolanda. Hi,
side for
Tony.
us. You drive the
How you
side."
guys doing? Are you guys doing okay?" Yeah. And so this event is for everyone, the whole entire family, and basically what they want to do is they want to have a family connection, to have the family come out and do something outings on the outside. So this event is happening in Bloomfield, and when is the date on this?
Saturday, May 30th.
Saturday, May 30th.
Yes.
And the event is free, correct?
Yeah,
To the
yeah,
community.
Well, free to
Different.
come to the
You'll be free to come because
Yeah.
it's going to be like
You just have to
On the
register to
town.
ride.
Register.
on the
To
town
ride.
green.
Well, I tell
They will
you,
respond.
and this is so great. And I'm telling you, we're looking forward to working with you on this event and getting the word out to the community. Let people know to come on out for the Octagon cycling. And I'm telling you, East Hartford, you want to be there in the number to make sure that you are there. And to make sure that you support Octagon Cycling Club and what they're doing. And I know you all need volunteers, so if they need volunteers, they need people on the leadership staff to come in to work and roll up your sleeves. Now, you're not just going to sit on the sideline and just watch, the cycling. You're going to get out there and work and do some work, all right? Well, we want to take this opportunity to thank you.
Thank
for being
you.
on Hartford
Thank
Community
you.
Leaders.
Thank
And
you.
we're looking to support your endeavors, and we know that it's going to be successful. And 25 plus years, I tell
Yep.
you, it's great. And we're still on the move. I tell you, cycling's still on the move. All right. We're going to go to next for another Black History moment with Lakia coming up real soon. All right. And stay tuned. Welcome to our Black History Moment. Moments in history in our Black history. And we have Lakia Siobhan Lightner Paget with us, and she'll be talking a little bit about her perspective for Black history.
Thank you, Donna. I would like to discuss biracial history. As you know, in 1967, the law was passed for people to have interracial marriage. So that's why I wanted to do this segment,
Okay.
to shine light on the biracials out there in our history. I would like to start off with my grandmother, Peggy Alberta Lightner. She's a biracial person. I would like to also highlight Frederick Douglass. He's also biracial. Our former president, Barack Hussein Obama, he's also a biracial. Anita Florence Hemmings, she's biracial. And I wonder if I'm certain I have one more person added. I think that's about all that I have. And also Queen Haley, though, she's also biracial. So I wanted to discuss that during this month, because back then it was interracial marriages,
Okay.
although it was against the law until 1967, when Mildred and Richard brought up the case to the Supreme Court to allow people to, be able to marry whoever they love despite their color, So that's why I wanted to highlight that, because I have that in my family, and I'm sure you have it and other people have it. I think it's very important that I discuss that.
Yeah. How important is it to have to talk about the different cultures and different perspectives and families during this month for families?
I think it's very important because since the beginning of time, not everybody had the same, color family members. It was other colors too. So, people don't want to talk about it, but I think it's important to talk about it because it's real. Not everybody's going to be the same culture or the same color. So it's the way our world is.
And it's a way for family members to understand where they come from.
That's right.
And their history, family history. Because we have inventors, we have architects, we have laborers who paved the way for generations and generations after. And so I think to understand Black history, you have to understand your culture. You have to understand where you come from. My family will come from South Carolina, and the time where there was picking cotton and working in the fields, and and so basically, people have history in the South. Now, did you have history in your South?
Yes, I have family in the South, but I also have family in Europe as well.
All right.
Yeah, so, that's the interracial side. You have that. You're going to have some from Europe, some from Africa.
Okay.
You're going to have that.
Yeah.
Even back then, I know people weren't talking about it. It was a no-no. That's another reason why my grandmother was raised by her grandparents, because her mother, ended up having a child with a white man. In Virginia, that was a no-no. That's before the Mildred and Richard Loving case came about.
Yeah.
That was a no-no back then.
Yeah, I think even school age students and families, they don't sit down enough to talk about their culture, where they come from. And one of the good things about it is that you sit down and you say, hey, these are the foods that we used to prepare, back then, and how we used to come together at the table. Parents come together, mothers, fathers, and the children come together and sit at the table. Now, today, most of the time, the child is at McDonald's or wherever they go to eat, a famous restaurant, and so they go out there to eat, and then and then there's no more sitting down at a home cooked meal, and where you say, well, how was your day at school, or what did you do in school, what did you learn in school. I think it's more or less separation, and also social media and these cell phones have taken away from the history, more or less the Black history and the culture of individuals in the community. I think it's more prominent that we give the Black history of our ancestors, let people know, that there's a way, the George Washington Carver, the Harriet Tubman, and to let them know a little bit about, these different individuals in history. Now, you recently went to a Harriet Tubman movie, and what was that experience, and what did you learn from that segment?
Well, first of all, if I was in her shoes, I would have ran away too and made a better life. There's no way I would endure what they had to go through back then. I would have ran away too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a better life.
Yeah.
And the freedom that you have. I mean, to wake up and just do what you want to do. That's my feeling on that movie.
Yeah.
I would have did the same thing, ran away for a better life.
And the thing is that we talk about our history, but we really don't understand it. We had great inventors that invented, a lot of these different things that we have, and so it's great, to look at, all the inventions. Now, there is a book, and I can't recall the name of the book, but there's a famous Black book about all of the Black inventors that you can get, and you can see where a lot of the Black history, lies in, and I would, behoove everyone to go and, hey, get that book, because it shows you from the beginning who, the different creations, the different inventions, yeah, and so it's great. So you have something else that you would like to say in reference to your Black history portion? Peggy, you said Peggy.
Alberta Lightner, that's my grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah, she's biracial.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where was she from?
She's from Powhatan, Virginia.
Okay.
And her mother, she had a child with a white man, and that's a no-no. So that's why her grandparents had to take over and take care of her.
And what was her occupation?
Her mother was a servant.
Okay.
Yeah, she was enslaved.
Okay.
But after she had my grandmother leaving her, she had to leave the state of Virginia and then to find a better life. Yeah.
Is there something that she was known for as far as like, knitting or cooking? Or...
Well, let me tell you about my grandmother. My grandmother, her grandparents, they had their own church and everything, and they took very well care of her, so she doesn't do much cooking, even the career she has, she worked in like she worked in funeral homes. She did that and so forth. But every week she gets her hair and nail done. She get a nice. She's still having that status.
Is she still currently living right now?
Yeah, she still lives. She had 3 strokes, so she can't move around like she used to. She's confined to a wheelchair. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is great to have that moment of Black history to understand. And I would like to say before we end the segment is that you have family members that are part of Black history. These you can actually jot down on paper just like Lakia and say, hey, I would like to see my grandmother as a Black history historian, or my great-grandfather, or my uncle, or relative or cousin that contributed to our society, whether any kind of occupation, or what they've done. They could have knitted a quilt,
right?
And
even from my grandfather's side, he too had different races in his family. You know?
My mom, she knitted quilts, and they wasn't on display, but as a Black history moment, I take that reverence to reverence her as a Black history moment for a Black history, a woman of color to be able to move. All right. Well, thank you for the Black history moment, and thank you.
Yes.
Take care.